Good morning and Jai Hind children. Today we will discuss oral questions first in the chapter Transportation of Materials in Plants and Animals. Alright, because in previous class we have discussed all the topics related to transportation of material in plants. And now today I am going to discuss the answers of oral questions 1. And the question number 1 is, in plants, the same set of pipe-like vessels transport water, minerals, salts and food. Do you agree? Give reason. So children, please be very careful because in the question, two parts are there. In the first part, you have to give your answer that either you are agree or not agree. And in the second part, you have to give its reason. Alright, so again I am going to repeat the question that as the plant's body have what? The same set of pipe-like vessel by which the materials are going to transport. So children, your answer must be that no, plants have two sets of pipe-like vessels. Alright, and the name of these two sets of pipe-like vessels are xylem and phloem. Okay, xylem vessels are responsible for the transportation of water, minerals and salts, whereas the second set of pipe-like structure is known as phloem, and it is responsible for the movement or transportation of food. Get it? So in the reason you will write that plants have two sets of pipe-like vessel. Get it? Alright. Now come to the second question. Second question is there, in osmosis, water molecules pass through a semi-permeable membrane. What is a semi-permeable membrane? And what determines the direction of passage of water through such a membrane? Children, in the second question, you have to first define the semi-permeable membrane. Children, remember that the process of osmosis that was discussed in previous class, it is a process in which water passes from one part to other part in the presence of semi-permeable membrane. Alright, so this semi-permeable membrane is simply a thin membrane which only allows to pass the water molecules from its higher concentration to lower concentration. Alright, so here you have to define a semi-permeable membrane. So simply a membrane which allow only to pass the water molecules from higher concentration to lower concentration. And the second part of the question is, what determines the direction of passage of water through such a membrane? So children, if this is a membrane, this is a semi-permeable membrane, so the water moves from one side to another side on the basis of their concentration. Alright, that concentration of the water will determine the direction of passes of water, and it will move from higher concentration of water to lower concentration of water. Get it? So the question is there, what determines the passes of water? So simply you can say that the concentration of water determines the passes of water from semi-permeable membrane, and the direction of movement is from higher concentration to lower concentration. Okay, understood children? The answer. Now come to the next question. Question number 3. And the question is, transpiration allows plants to lose excess water. It also has two other functions. What are these? So children, remember, in the process of transpiration, we have discussed that a process by which the excess water lose from the plants. Okay, especially from the stomatas of the plants. So this process is known as simply transpiration. But along with losing excess water from the plants, it also plays some more functions. Okay, so there are two more functions, and those functions are: the first one, while removing the water or evaporating the water, it makes the surface of plants cool. Alright. So this is one of the function. It cools the surface of plant. Okay. And the second function is there. As the excess water is going to lose from the leaves by transpiration, so this losing of water is going to create a transpirational pull by which the water continuously absorbed from the roots and moves upward, comes upward. Okay, so this pulls, that is transpirational pull, created because of the process of transpiration. Alright children, so the second function is it helps to create transpirational pull by which the water moves upward. Get it? So these are the two more functions of transpiration, except the losing excess water from the plant. Okay, understood everyone? Alright, now come to the next question number 4, and the question is, under what condition will the leaves of a plant wilt? So children, please go through the question very carefully. It's given that what are the conditions in which the leaves of the plant wilt. Children, wilting that occurs mainly in summer season. Okay, when the temperature is more and the rate of transpiration get increased. Alright, and due to increasing the rate of transpiration, the absorption rate gets decreased, and it is responsible for loosening of the leaves of the plant. Alright, because the cytoplasm of the cells of the plant gets condensed because of losing more water, and in such condition they get loose and they move, this bend downwards. Get it? So this is known as wilting, and this wilting is occurred due to the difference in the rate of transpiration and rate of absorption. When the rate of transpiration gets increased more as compared to rate of absorption, so the cytoplasm of the cells gets condensed and the leaves of the plants gets bent down, or simply it's get wilted. Clear? So these all are the answers of oral question 1, and you have to write down these answers in your notebook. Get it? Clear everyone? Alright. Now come to the next topic of the chapter. Now, children, as I have told, this chapter transportation of materials in plants and animals is going to divide in two parts. In first part, transportation of materials in plants, and in second part, transportation of materials in animals. So we have discussed all about the transportation of materials in plants. Okay, and now I'm going to start the second part of the chapter, that is transportation of material in animals. As in plant's body, the important materials like water, minerals, salts and food, they need to transport to all parts of the body. Just like that, in body of animals, also the important materials are required to move all parts of the body. Get it? So here we will discuss in detail about the transportation of materials in animals. So children, first of all we will discuss the materials, movement of the materials in unicellular animals, because you know that there are some unicellular animals whose body is made up of single cell and multicellular animals. So we human beings are the multicellular organisms. Alright, but first we understood about how the transportation of materials takes place in unicellular animals. So children, mainly the unicellular animals found in water, and their body is made up of single cell. So this body surface which is also known as cell membrane. Through this cell membrane, all the important materials transported. Alright, they moves in and moves out. So simply you can say that in unicellular animals, their cell membrane or body surface play the important role for the movement of or transportation of materials. So the gas like oxygen moves in through this cell membrane. Carbon dioxide moves out through this cell membrane. And just like that, the food moves in through this cell membrane. Alright, so these two important substances, the nutrients and the oxygen, they moves are transported in the body through this surface, as their body is made up of only single cell. It is. Alright, now in multicellular small animals like hydra, like jellyfish, which are found in water. Okay, in these animals, the important materials like nutrients, like food and that oxygen is going to transport it with water. As they are aquatic, they are found in water, so the water have dissolved oxygen, and their nutrient, their food is also present in the water. So as the water moves in the body, so along with that water, oxygen and the nutrients also enter in the body. Get it? And the carbon dioxide and other unnecessary wastes comes out through that movement of the water from the body. So in some small multicellular aquatic animals, the movement or the transportation of materials takes place by moving water. Get it? Understood, children? Now we have to discuss in detail about the process of transportation of materials in human beings. Clear?